Let's get some analysis now on healthcare and the Russia investigations. Syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer is here tonight. The doctor is in the house. It's good to see you, sir.
Good to be here.
All right, so being a doctor, we've talked about this healthcare situation being on life support. Every day we're getting new hints that there are conversations going on, that it may not be dead yet.
I don't think it's dead in the long run, but I think it's a little early for a resurrection. And, you know, doctors aren't really very practiced at resurrection. It's more a theological than a medical issue. The distance between the moderates in the House caucus, Republican caucus, and the conservatives, I think, is too big. And it's hard to see them agreeing. The distance between the Republicans and the Democrats is a chasm. As we saw that letter by Schumer, by the Democrats demanding that Trump essentially rescind his attempt to repeal Obamacare as a non-starter. That's meant to humiliate the Republicans, and they actually hold the cards. It will be insane for them to acquiesce. I think August and September will be when the insurers publish their new rates for the Obamacare exchanges. That's when you get sticker shock, and that's when I think we'll get a dissipation of the current nostalgia for Obamacare.
Do you think that will drive the parties back to the table at that point?
I think it will, yes. I think it will be a time when there'll be less. It was remarkable how Obamacare rose in the polls during the recent debates. I think there'll be a decline as a result of that.
Well, you talked about the different factions that we have going on here, and the president was not shy about assigning some blame and very pointedly calling out specific groups through tweets and other conversations in the wake of the fall apart last week. Do you think those fences will be easily mended, that people understand this is Washington, this is part of the negotiation tactic, now we come back to the table, bygones are bygones, and we get back to business?
I think it's like The Godfather. This is not personal, it's business. I don't think the personal stuff is really what's at the core here. There really are significant ideological differences among Republicans. Conservatives want to see total stripping out of the regulations in Obamacare. They want to essentially eradicate it, start all over, and have a market-based system. The moderates aren't that eager to do it. They're worried to death that when people who are now on expanded Medicaid begin to lose their coverage, that's going to threaten their own political existence. So I think the core debates are really very significant, and they're about principle. I don't think it's personal.
Okay, let's talk about the Russian investigations. Two very different tones coming from the House, where there are numerous calls for the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee to step down. He says he's not going anywhere. He says, you know, once this all plays out, you'll see who's been doing an investigation and how long it's been going on. Today, a very different press conference with the Senate House Intelligence Committee, the top Republican and Democrats standing there side by side saying it's bipartisan on this side, we're working together, we're friends, we have confidence in each other, and we're going to follow the facts.
Well, that's because the two committees are looking into two different issues. The reason that there's all this comity on the part of Republicans and Democrats on the Senate side is because they have decided to go after the Russia intervention issue and the so-called collusion. So that is very easy for Democrats to do, a little harder for Republicans, but it suits bipartisanship, it suits the media. What's happening on the House side is you've got Nunes, often a kind of a Don Quixote mission, where he's looking at the other question, the question of whether there was improper handling of the intelligence by the intelligence committees spread over to the Obama administration and creating a net of surveillance on the Trump transition. The Democrats have no interest in that. They don't want to go near it, and they pretend it's not an issue. It is an issue. It's a significant breach of Intelligence Committee, the Intelligence Services role, and it's a breach of their obligation to confidentiality. So, but the problem with Nunes is that he's gone off with a lot of weird actions. He's acting like a spy monkey, that doesn't help its cause. If you're going to do something unpopular, try to play it straight.
Right, we'll see. Two very different takes on these investigations, but both tracks continuing. So, Dr.
Yes.
Krauthammer, good to see you.
My pleasure.